we're back with Cathy. We're talking about the Matador Project,
Yes.
which is Fermi America. We've seen commercials. We've talked to our city council, and Sheldon, really people don't, I don't know if people really, I didn't understand. I still don't. I really want to know why the Panhandle. We've got national security. What is data? Why do we need this? And as a community, we feel like, did this just happen overnight?
Right? I mean, I thought the same thing myself.
Yeah.
Like it was probably 6 to 8 months ago when I really started digging into the president's call for people to answer, for businesses to start providing this power and to build private grids like this. He executed 5 executive orders calling this a national security crisis. If America wants to control the future of AI and energy globally, we've got to catch up. New York Times reported 2 weeks ago that China is building 33 of these reactors right now. And as we know, or suppose, those are not for air conditioning units.
Right.
So they have declared a race for information. And people say, well, what's AI? You know, AI is confusing or AI is scary.
Right.
I get it. I grew up in the 80s, you know, Terminator.
Right.
I know.
Right.
And we, none of us, you know, fully grasp where all that's going. It's here to stay. We do know that. But what I can say is that, like, if my smartphone app and my navigation system doesn't work, that's inconvenient for me. That's AI, and it's inconvenient if it doesn't work. If our power grid for the country shuts down, if our military operations and our law enforcement data and our surveillance data globally, if our military shuts down because we don't control that data anymore, that's just all cloud-based data. That's AI. That's AI. It's also all of our transportation, all of our communications, every bit of it is based in cloud-based systems now. Websites, apps, everything. So that's we had to create a private grid, which is what makes Fermi unique. So many of these data centers are plugging into the public grid, and the public grid's, you know, growing, but they're estimating like 2%. AI is growing at 30, 35%. You can't grow fast enough. Okay. We have to build our own grid, and the Panhandle of Texas was the perfect place to do it because of the natural gas resources, because of the familiarity and the characterization of the site with nuclear. We're very familiar out here with nuclear, and we've brought the world's experts that have built 17 of these around the globe to do it because we're very consistently committed to the safety and the security of this region that we grew up in and love.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, like I said, this all comes back, like I said, to AI. Of course, the power generation, everything like that, is powering these data centers, and these are what's at the core of what Fermi America is doing. So, if we can take a look right there, I mean, talking about these data centers, that's what it's all about. So, you're generating the electricity to power these data centers. What are the data centers for?
The data centers are what house the compute. So if you listen to Toby, he talks about we're building dumb electrons so that these companies that come in and basically rent a space in our power mall, we're creating our own grid that's basically a mall if you look at the map, and they will come in and rent, you know, 3 million square feet of data, and then they build out the insides of those buildings. So when you see those buildings, that's the work already going on in the site, the thousands of acres of just stuff that's already been cleared and pads that are being laid, and it's very much under construction. 300 trucks in and out of there a day at this point.
Yes. So for folks at home looking at that map, basically all those squares you see in yellow, those are those data
campuses.
centers.
They're data center campuses within, like if you think of it as a mall, like we're building the structure and the power, and then we'll lease space to each of those tenants.
Yes, and so eventually later on down the line, that will be something where Fermi America will be transparent in who is paying for those data centers
Absolutely.
And what's being housed in there, correct?
Can't right now, but absolutely at some point. That will be well known, yes.
Yes, and so talk about that a little bit there, like you said, because each one of those facilities is 3 million square feet, and so there's going to be a lot of things going on with that. And so why is it important to have that transparency when it comes to not just the matter of us knowing what's going on out there, but just within matters of national security?
Absolutely. Well, it's the biggest project right now in the country, and that's why you have, you know, so much support. Again, the DOE, Pantex, all that right there. You know, there was just a land swap with Pantex on part of that land, and we had the support of so many agencies so helpful, and everybody's committed to doing what Governor Abbott and President Trump are calling for, which is answering this call so that we can win the race with China.
And what is the timeline? It's not next year.
Well, we're at a gig next year. We're committed to a
Okay.
gig in 2026 of the 11. So it's a 10 to 15 year project over the long haul, create thousands of jobs for the region. But right out of the gate, we're committed to a gig.
Okay.
Yes, and so as this project progresses,
Two gigs by 27, which is the Hoover Dam
wow.
amount of electric, just for perspective.
That is a
Whoa.
lot for sure, and so there's going to be a lot happening here over the course of these next
Yes.
couple years. And so, as it progresses, I mean, it's one of those things where naturally there are going to be lots of questions about it, and that's something. Of course, you coming on to Second Cup today is just one of the many things that Fermi America is doing to try to increase that transparency, wanting to talk to people who have concerns. Correct?
Absolutely. You know, we've said we couldn't talk during the quiet period. That's an SEC federal regulation before the IPO. Now we're everywhere. We've talked to thousands of people over the last 3 weeks, and we've got a lot more scheduled over the next month, and we're here. I mean, I'm here 4 days a week. Toby was here yesterday. We've got executives here on the ground that are leading the way, and we are working and going above and beyond to tell the story. So excited to tell the story and answer all the questions because there's nothing to hide. It's the best thing that we've seen come to the region in ever, and I know in the region's gonna be really proud that we took a stand for the country, and that as the most patriotic people in the country, I've always believed that and saw that with my family, is that I just think that we'll be really proud that we answered the call and built the Manhattan Project of our generation.
Well, Cathy, thanks for coming. We want to be able to talk. I know that the public wants to visit with you, wants to get their questions answered, and I think y'all are very open to that. What if people do have questions? How can they get them answered?
Right.
With y'all?
So definitely we have a website where there's more information. The city also put out a web page where they have information, and then social media is probably a great place to engage with us. We're hiring, we're building, we're growing. You know, this is a $70 billion project, and we're hiring to start to try to keep up with that as far as communications go on my team, and excited to grow that and have even more folks to help answer those questions besides myself and the leadership team.
All right. Cathy, thanks so much.
Yes, thanks for
coming.
having me, Allie and Sheldon. So
Yes,
nice.
of course.
Hope
Great
to be able
know
to
you
talk to you
guys.
more.
Always,
All right.
always.
Thank
You've got
you.
my number.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Yes.
Sheldon, dog